This is Radio Random Network. Find us on the web at www.radiorandomnetwork.com.
All right, you listen to the Radio Random Network right here at radiorandomnetwork.com and on iHeartradio, iTunes, Stitcher Radio, and wherever you listen to our broadcast from. This week I'm going off the rails a little bit because I don't have no big-time star or... yeah. Well, not famous, but infamous. Joining me is the one and only Mudtooth.
Howdy, howdy, howdy.
Been a long time, Mudtooth.
Coming to you from our secret headquarters, thousands of miles below the Earth's crust.
It's hot down here. Yes, indeed. So
I just saw the devil run by.
Drinking a Slurpee.
He said, damn, it's hot.
Yeah. So what's been happening, man?
Oh, man, just living, man, you know.
Been a while.
It's been a while, man. Just, you know, I've been keeping up with you, though, man. You know,
we're out there.
That's right. You've been busy. You've been busy, and I like it. You know, how was the volunteer jam, man?
It was an experience of a lifetime. On the real.
Charlie doing all right?
Charlie Daniels is wonderful.
Did you tell him I said hey?
It was one of those moments to where whenever somebody walks up and says, how you doing? And you just go, you know, you can't say... You
can't say Mudtooth said hey?
Apple. And he's like, what? He's like, I like apples.
Hamburgers are good.
Yeah. You know, and then you go into the all-out, you know, Wayne's World thing. Oh, no. It was an experience of a lifetime, and I will say this. Now, there's a few things I can't talk about yet on here because the public relations and all that good stuff, but we got some good pictures. We got to meet some good people.
That's good.
I am Ted Nugent's #1 fan now.
Well, that's a bold statement because he got a lot of fans.
Oh, bro, I'm telling you what. You know...
Did he play Stranglehold?
He did.
Oh,
but,
man.
You know, my boys, the Kentucky Headhunters, were there, which
right.
My good friend who listens to the show, Mr. Richard Young.
Oh, yeah, does he? Does he listen?
Does.
Hey, man, I'm a big fan. I really, that's no shit. I'm a big fan. So I'm glad you're listening, and I hope to meet you someday.
You probably will. Probably when they come back down here if you want to go.
Hell yeah, I want to go.
That is, the Kentucky Headhunters, I tell you, you know, I've never, on up until this point, I guess, in doing all this, I've never had any kind of dealings with bands who are on the level of the Kentucky Headhunters with the, you know, the record contracts and the, you know, multi-platinum albums and all the stuff that they have, but they're very down-to-earth people.
Oh, yeah, I heard them on an interview here not too long ago. Mm-hmm. And seemed like a fine bunch of fellas.
Yes, it is. They started it off. You know, they kicked it off, and it was naturally we went to Dumas Walk.
Well, yeah.
You know,
you
but
got to.
You know, it was like, for me, seeing everybody that I missed in concert.
Yeah.
Is Alabama.
Yeah.
Ted Nugent, which we'll get to him in a minute. Kentucky Headhunters.
Right.
Winona. Bro, Winona Judd is bad to the bone.
I'm going to tell you. Can I tell you a secret?
Yeah, you could tell us a secret.
I had like a boy-girl thing for Winona. God bless. She was good looking. She had that red. I'm a sucker for a red-headed woman.
And bro, she's got it.
And I know. And I ain't all she had.
Yes, indeed.
Ooh, Lord. I would. It probably wouldn't do for us to meet. It probably wouldn't
Restraining order.
Yeah, because I'm gonna get me a hug, and I'm gonna squeeze up on it too.
Yes, indeed. But it was cool. Oak Ridge Boys, who are phenomenal.
Oh yeah.
And Richard Sturbine, who is who I can only explain him as the guy that says Papa Mau Mau.
Yeah.
But he had a career before the Oak Ridge Boys, but he's going to be joining me probably about 2 weeks.
Cool.
And but with all that said, we'll get to Nashville. I got some stories, boy. I got some stories.
What? Look, yeah. You talking about the Kentucky Headhunters? Have you ever had ski? You know what they talk about in there in that song? It's a cold drink.
Really?
Yeah. It kind of tastes like Mountain Dew.
Come on.
I had some, I was in the Midwest, and I saw some in Walmart. And I just had to have some. And I said, look, there's that stuff. I didn't know what they was talking about. I thought they might have been talking about whiskey or something, you know. And I said, hey, it's a bottle of ski. Well, it's in a can. But, you know, you got to make do. Mm-hmm. And it wasn't bad. I can see where it may go with a slaw burger.
Have you ever had the slaw burger?
I have not.
You're missing out, son.
I've had the barbecue sandwich with the slaw on it. Now, that's the way to go.
Mm-hmm. Yes, indeed. Back old track is our stomach.
Hungry.
300 pounds of it. But got a lot of stories. It was fun. You know, Tanya Halford went with me. Mm-hmm. Tanya, my main squeeze.
Yeah. She better have went with you. You'd have been in the doghouse when you got back.
Bruh. 8 hours. No, yeah, it was about 8 hours.
Yeah, it's a good little ride.
I only drove for about 45 minutes.
Oh, yeah? She handled the rest of it?
She's like, she quit talking and everything. I thought something was wrong.
Huh.
She wanted to drive. So I let her.
Yeah.
It was, but we got up there. It was, it was pretty cool.
Cool.
Walking on, is it Broadway?
Yeah.
Okay. We walking on Broadway that day. We got to go see a few things.
Go walk by Tootsie's.
Yeah, and we didn't walk into Tootsie's. We didn't.
Yeah.
You know, we walked into I think it was Lulu's or something like that. And nothing against them, but I paid $15 for 2 beers and some.
That's damn ridiculous.
Well, not only some of them Winn-Dixie onion rings.
No.
I'm telling you.
Let me tell you something. If I pay $15 for 2 beers, they better be a topless woman serving them to me. Now, that's just ridiculous.
Yeah, it was. It was a hell of a. We got out of there quick. It wasn't a place for us to be. I don't think.
They had last time I went. They had a bunch of little joints, all of them down that street, and they all had bands playing at night. You know, well, they'd have them in the daytime too. And none of them dudes got paid. Man, they all played for tips. And they hustle, man. They hustle.
The one bar we walked in where we had the Winn-Dixie onion rings, and by the way, if you don't know what I'm talking about, onion rings in Louisiana, when you order some onion rings, I'm talking you got some grease, you got, crispy, and it's real onions. This mesh.
Now, do you like them thick or thin?
Either way.
I like them thin.
Really?
Yeah, man, you thin cut them, and you got to batter them like Popeyes does a chicken, you know. You don't want that old, stay with, look, folks, listen to me. Stay away from that beer batter. You don't want that shit.
No.
If you want to wash that down with a beer, that's fine. But you stay away from that beer batter. That ain't no good. You get that crispy, and they thin. Oh.
Maybe you want to slap your mouth. Mm-hmm. But we walked down. We got a chance to go to the Country Music Hall of Fame.
Oh, yeah, man. That's good stuff there. They got Webb Pierce's Cadillac in there.
What? Now, I enjoyed the experience. Now,
Webb Pierce was a good Louisiana boy.
Really?
Mm-hmm. I want to say from Shreveport, but I might be wrong.
Possibility. I have to do some checking on that.
We have to check the power of Google.
Yes, indeed. Actually, I use All Music.
Do you? Mm-hmm. Well, good for you.
Yeah. Cheap plug. But anyway, we walk in, and it was a good experience. You walk around, and you see these old artifacts.
Oh, yeah, it's nice in there.
Like Webb's Cadillac, which was badass.
Oh, yeah, I got the pistols for the door handles.
And
got them
dollars.
All in it, and the horns. Yeah.
And then you walk over, and there's Elvis's limousine. Mm-hmm. And if you look at the top, it's got his gold records.
Oh, yeah.
Then you walk a little ways, you see Jerry Reed's guitar. You know, and yeah, it was just, I was in heaven until I got to Luke Bryan's exhibit.
Wait, what? Yeah. I'm sorry, you talking in my trick here. Did you just say Luke Bryan's exhibit at the Country Music Hall of Fame and Museum?
I walk in, and the first thing you see, which I was cool with it was Taylor Swift. It was for some kind of educational deal.
Okay.
And I'm cool with that.
It's for the kids. Okay.
It's for the kids.
Okay.
And then you walk
Even
around.
though she has admittedly dropped
country music.
left country music, and that's, okay. You go on dance with the devil if you want to.
Yeah, good luck.
That's right, good luck.
But, I was in awe. They got an exhibit with Dylan and Cash.
Oh, yeah.
Cash, Bob Dylan. And where they did an album with the Nashville Cats, which y'all can Google them. I'm not going to go into a big story about that. But like I said, you walk through there, and all of a sudden you see, it's like a cutout poster, and it's Luke Bryan. And I
say it ain't so.
Well, it kind of ticked me off, bro, because
hell, I'm getting mad and sitting there.
He had more stuff than Hank Williams did.
Hold on,
I'm telling you.
Now.
Yeah.
Well, but you know what, though? You know what? And I've said this before. They have the ass with Hank Williams. The man's dead, for Christ's sake. Let it go. Let it go. All right, yeah, he was a handful. All right, yeah.
He was the original rock star.
Yeah, I mean, look, poor fella, his back was hurting him. He took he took pills. He drank a lot. I drank a lot. All right.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, but look at the good he did. I mean, look what he put out there. Look at the stuff that ain't now. All the songs that's never gonna leave us. And you telling me now? You telling me that Luke Bryan, and I had to hold my tongue now.
It's all good.
Has more stuff in there than the great Hank Williams has.
You look, as soon as you walk into the hall, bro, to your right, there's a display, and it's the suit. It's the famous suit that Hank Williams, you picture Hank, the white suit with
the musical notes on it.
And the cowboy boots he wore, which was cool.
Oh, yeah.
Then all of a sudden I hear a couple of girls walk through there, and look, Brian. Yeah, I could have tripped him. When I turned around, and he has a whole wall. And I was thinking, he's had he's had a lot of success, but what has he done? So I got curious. I went over there and looked. It really wasn't no gold records or anything. They had they had his kindergarten diploma.
Oh, well, at least he passed that, I guess.
Some lame suit that he wore to prom.
To prom?
To prom. He had his old lady suit, his wife's suit in there. And then he had some kind of bullshit Entertainer of the Year award thing sitting up there.
All right. Now,
bruh.
Russell, I'm going to say this because I believe in speaking my mind. And
speak it.
Luke Bryan ain't the beginning of a pimple on the late, great Hank Williams' ass. He got off into it with Waylon's people here a little while back.
And not only was it with Waylon, it was like a whole army of outlaws just out of nowhere. It's like a militia.
But like Waylon's people kind of got personally offended.
Oh, yeah.
And I don't blame them. Hell, it offended me. But and look, man, everybody likes their thing. I get that, man. Everybody's got their thing. I try not to judge people. But if you're going to have an exhibit at the Country Music Hall of Fame and Museum, I think you might need to be a little bit more noteworthy than Luke Bryan. Now, that's my humble opinion, and that and a quarter gets you a hot cup of coffee, but, I just, that's the way I feel, and I just, I'll be honest with you, it kind of perturbs me.
It does me too.
It makes me want to call somebody.
For me, and I mean everybody, I'm not bashing his fans. I'm sure he's got.
He's got saying, "Look, hey, you know what?" And bless them little girls' hearts. I'm sure they love him.
Yeah, because you ain't gonna see Bubba riding down the road.
I ain't seen him. I ain't seen him. I mean, how?
Well, he said he didn't do drugs or drink.
Well,
he's and that's I think that's part of why he really had no songs that you can really remember yet.
Well, I mean, look, that's fine. I ain't running him down. Britney Spears used to say she never did sleep with nobody.
Yeah,
that was proven untrue. But I'm not gonna call him a liar. you know, I don't see nothing wrong having a beer. You know, some people like to do their thing, and that's cool with me. But don't, if you just want to sit there and call, you know, people like Waylon Jennings and Merle Haggard and Willie Nelson, you know, a bunch of degenerates, well, you know, I got a problem with you, because they not only, you know, they did more to change country music, which at the time was going in the same direction it's going now.
Right.
You know, I think there needs to be another outlaw movement. And I'm going to tell you something. There's a split right now. You look at the success people like Jason Isbell's having. There's a split in country music right now. And then people in Nashville better get ready for it.
You're right about that.
They better get ready for it.
You're right about that. And you were talking about, you brought up Merle and Willie. And what are your thoughts? Have you heard The World Has Gone to Pot?
I haven't heard it yet. I want to.
Yeah, well,
I got to listen to it.
You need to look it up on the YouTube and watch the video.
I got to do that.
They've landed number one with that song, and that's where when all this controversy started. I think they took they don't have bullets anymore like back in the day,
right?
Charge, but if we were living back in those times, you would say Merle and Willie stole Luke Bryant's bullet.
Mm-hmm. I mean, look, that's two old dudes. Willie's what, 80 something, 82. I think he was born in 30. I think he's 82. I mean, he's in his early
60.
Yeah, he's in his early 80s. Merle is up in age. I don't know how old he is. And that's two old dudes that's still doing it, you know. And it ain't been no country girl shake it for me.
No.
You know, the reason them guys rose to prominence is for, you know, writing and or performing songs that resonate with the American people. They did it back, you know, from, you know, in the 60s, 70s, 80s, whatever. Hell, all this foolishness going on here lately. I like to listen to the fight inside of me about once a week, just kind of keep my head on straight.
That's it. Well, you said about the divide, you know, and what it is, I guess it's kind of like a rise of some underground.
That's exactly what it is.
But it's funny you said that, because a few months ago, and for those listening, I'll give a cheap plug. You can go back to the archives and listen to my interview with Mickey Gilley. At the end of the interview, Mickey said pretty much the same thing.
Did he?
Yes, he did.
Good Louisiana boy.
Yeah, Faraday, Louisiana.
Mm-hmm.
He, you know, Now, Mickey, all due respect, he kind of went a little further back than, you know, he started talking about Humpty Dumpty Heart. And,
did he now?
Yeah, and I knew, you know, that's Hank Lachlan.
Right.
You know, but I mean, some people, you know, after the interview, I remember saying, what the hell is Humpty Dumpty Heart? Is that one of his songs? Like, no, man. But he said the same thing, and it's like a rise of underground, indie type, do-it-yourself.
Well, it's so easy for somebody to get their stuff put out there now. You know, you can sit there with a phone and make a YouTube video.
Yes.
And, you know, I mean, but there is some good music being made right now that don't have nothing to do with mainstream Nashville. I mean, it's a lot of good stuff.
Chris Stapleton.
Yes. Chris Stapleton got a set of pipes on him. Man can sing. You know, he's coming to our area quite soon.
That's at the Texas Club.
Yeah, next month.
You can plug them.
Next month.
September 24th.
Yeah. If you get a chance, go see him. You know, a lot of y'all might not have heard of him. You take my word for it. He's good. You know, never met the dude, but
Fool Me Again.
Oh, that's one that we should have done.
We could do it. It's easy, you know. And he's a good guy.
Oh,
you know,
yeah.
watching some of the stuff, and I might be on the scene there at the Texas Club on the 24th. Never can tell.
That'd be good.
Now, bro, as we walked out of the event, you know, we had to go hit the night scene there
Sure.
in Nashville.
Sure.
I know we're bouncing around a little bit. Y'all just hang on. We can fly by the seat.
Yeah, just...
You always hear the stories of there's so many people on the streets in Nashville playing music. You know?
Mm-hmm.
And there was this one cat. He made us miss the walk. You know, you walking and they got the lights blink. You know?
Right.
I'm from LaRondra. I ain't never seen that crap before.
Right.
The horse and buggy ain't coming. You run across the road.
Mm-hmm.
Well, they had the light to tell you, you know, when to go or whatever.
Right. Walk and don't walk.
Right. There you go.
Mm-hmm.
This dude sitting on a PV Bandit amp, and I'm a big guy. This fella was about 500 pounds. I swear to God.
Nice.
He had long gray hair. I mean, he looked like one of the Muppets. I swear to God.
Like the big monster one?
Yes.
Yeah.
And he had a PV guitar, and it looked like a toy he was holding.
Right.
And we walked up, which all that day, you know, they got, it's kind of like Bourbon Street X kind of thing going on with different, people asking for money for food. And you just kind of got to shoo them off. But this guy, you know, I had to throw some money in his case, bro. He got me.
Yeah.
And he didn't even play anything.
Well, what'd he do? Just sit there and look at you?
Well,
what'd he tell you?
Well, he started
eat
playing. He started playing. Now, when I walked out, you know, and he's sitting there, and you know, I'm in a group of people, and he's sitting there. And he's got his glasses on, and it's nighttime. That's how I knew he was going to be a serious musician because he was wearing sunglasses, and it was dark.
Absolutely.
And he looks up at me. He said, "Where are you from?" You know, and I said, "Louisiana." And the man looks up at me and says, "I'll be damned. That's right by Texas."
That's pretty good.
I started, and that's when I put the money. I was like, "Here, bro, you know, you made me laugh. That was good, you know." And then he started playing. Now he's at the end, at the very, because we walked the whole all the way down. You know, he's at the very end. There ain't nowhere else to go. That's where he was sitting. And he started playing. He didn't sing. He was just playing guitar. And he was just shredding. But his amp, that thing, dude, you could hear it over everything like a quarter mile away.
They build them tough there in PV.
But if you can just... I didn't get a chance to take a picture. But the guy, he's sitting on, and like I said, he I don't know if he was homeless or what. But, and just like in New Orleans, you walking, and here's another one. Got this guy standing there, and he had a cup over his mouth, you know, like over his mouth, and he's playing a trumpet. But it was funny because he was, you know, da 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 da, and he was doing it with his mouth, you know, like the cup was a horn,
right?
And when you would look at it, like he was beside you, and you'd look, he would put his hand over his, you know, where you couldn't see his mouth. Like it was a secret.
He wants you to know his recipe.
Right. Like I was going to steal his, you know, his gimmick or something. I mean, and, you know, he asked for money, and I didn't give him any. But
you know, the last time I was in New Orleans, they got the guy, like he'll put the gold paint all on him, and he'll stand there, right?
Yeah.
He's a statue.
I know him.
Okay, well, I mean, and he's pretty good, you know. I mean, he'll be still, and he'll do stuff, and you give him money. So we saw that, and then we walk on down the street. Well, some old wine head. Well, evidently, he done seen the gold man and said, "Well, hell, I can do that." And he got him a milk crate, and he stood up there on it, and he was wearing some old silly hat. And he was just standing there holding his hand out, and he was obviously drunk. He's standing there weaving, you know. And like, what are you doing?
I mean, they had characters, but nothing beats Bourbon Street. And I'm not putting down on Nashville because I can't wait to go back.
Oh, yeah.
You know,
the last time I went to Nashville, I found it to be very clean. Very clean,
and, you know, everybody was nice. Everybody was real friendly, you know, but... Like I said, I'm not putting down on it. Can't wait to go back. But that's all they need up there, some characters. You know, when you go to Bourbon Street, now, I made my first gig on Bourbon Street, I don't know, almost a year ago, I guess. And the people I was playing with knew these people on the street, knew these hecklers or whatever you want to call them.
Mm-hmm.
But, you know, they had the devil, Satan.
Mm-hmm.
And that, you know, being, you know, I'm from a small town. The first time I go to the big city and get to play music, step on Bourbon Street, the first thing I see is Satan.
Right.
You know, all I could think was Mama was right.
Right. That's all she ever told me.
Yeah.
And there he is.
But, yeah, that was...
Big as life.
And the guy with the, you was talking about with the gold paint or whatever, he would, he set up by me there and stood up, and I think he was making fun of me. But what really got me down in New Orleans was the dude who was wearing the police tape, you know, no crossing stuff there. And I got left outside watching drums.
Yeah, that's not good.
No, it's not good at all. Not for somebody like me, you know. It's like Jethro Bodine, you know, on Bourbon Street. I have no clue. So I figured I'd just stand here and be quiet. Nobody'd see me. Well, I mean, they saw me.
Oh, yeah.
So here he come. You know, he got his police tape on, and, you know, he wanted to use my phone.
Mm-mm.
Yeah, you're right.
No.
But
I was down there this summer. I seen Chewbacca standing there on the corner of Bourbon Street.
Chewbacca?
Yeah, the old boy in a Chewbacca outfit. Now, look, I know it had to been close to 100 degrees out there. And here he is, standing there, you know, in his Chewbacca outfit, taking pictures of people. He had to have been about to melt in there, you know.
Was it for like a Comic-Con?
No, he just standing out in front of this bar. I think they probably one of the bartenders. They trying to, you know, get some more people in there drinking or something.
Yeah, they got the same gimmick up there at the coldest beer in town.
Yeah.
You walk in, that shit's hot.
Yeah, you know.
But yeah, it was, anyway. The Nashville thing was pretty cool. Like I said, all they're missing is some characters. We just need to get a bus and bring them from Birmingham. Y'all want to go to a new place?
Yeah.
Give y'all a couple
we'll
sandwiches.
ship them out up there. No, you know why they won't do that? Because I don't know if you've ever had any dealings with Nashville Metropolitan Police Department, but son, they don't put up with no foolishness. Now I can tell you that right now. I've seen them in action. They ain't never thumped on me. And if there's any of them listening, I think y'all do a fine job. But they are absolutely about law and order. And you know, New Orleans is one of them places to where, you know, they let a certain amount of stuff go on. They kind of keep it as like it's an imaginary line and don't cross it. Mm-hmm. You know, or you will, you know, wished you didn't. But that's not the way it is in Nashville. You know, what goes on Bourbon Street would not go on Broadway of Nashville. They would not tolerate it. So yeah, them people would be in a, you know, they would have them a rude awakening.
Yes, indeed. Well, I did get, you know, actually standing outside of one of the clubs, we was getting ready to go back to the hotel. They did have a guy who thought I was a cop.
Yeah?
I don't know why.
I don't know.
I don't know what about me said I was a cop.
Mm-hmm.
Guy, we did the giveaway with the tickets on the show. Chris Owens, actually from Albany, won.
Oh, yeah.
So he come up there, you know, and we had a great time. And he was talking to Chris, you know, and in which I heard him, in which Chris's the friend was standing by us, and Tanya and I, we were talking, you know, we were going back and forth, and I hear the guy ask Chris, said, "Hey, man, you got any weed?" And Chris, no. Yeah. You know, I work, you know, he does plant work. Whatever he does, you know, I don't smoke weed. I don't know, no, drug-free, you know.
Right.
The next thing come out of his mouth, and I kind of caught it because I turned and looked when I heard him say that. And he said, "Is that guy a cop?" And Chris said, "Who?" And he pointed at me. And I'm staring straight at him at this point.
They say, "Oh, yeah. Yeah."
You know what? Chris just busted out laughing. You know, and I just stood there and looked at him, and then the guy walked off. You know, he looked around. But
I told him straight up and said, "Yep, he sure is, son."
Yeah, is that guy a cop? And you know,
he's a Texas Ranger.
Nothing for Tanya to do but holler, you know, "It's the shoes." You know, it's his shoes. I told him them shoes was ugly.
What, cops wear ugly shoes? Is that it?
I don't know. I have no clue. I do know one thing, though. I'm not a big drinker. But afterwards, I got into something called Top Shock.
Top Shock.
Bruh.
What that is?
It didn't have no taste. I mean, no taste. Like the first taste, you take a sip, and at first it's like, ugh, it tastes like soda water.
Right.
After that first sip, I don't know if it kills your taste buds or what, but there was no taste. But I think it was like 5-hour energy shots mixed in with beer or something. I mean, it was.
Huh.
For a minute there, I could have run up and down.
I'd like to have seen that.
It was, yeah, me too, honestly, but it was pretty good stuff. But
I ain't never heard of it.
I know it was $9 a pop.
Oh, Lord have mercy.
Well, that's another thing we'll talk about real quick. Then we'll go off talking about something else. What is the deal with arenas and stadiums charging so much for beer?
Because you can't get out and go get none. They got you. If you leave out, you can't come back in, even if you got a ticket.
Really?
They ain't like the bar room, man. You know, I mean, like you go to the bar and you pay your cover, and they might slap a little wristband on you or mark your hand or whatever. And, because, you know, some of these bars now, like in New Orleans, you can't smoke in the bar no more.
Right.
So you go outside, people go outside and smoke a cigarette, and they come back in, no big deal, right? Well, it don't work that way at the Hank Jr. concert, right? You pays your money, you walk up there and they scan your ticket. All right, well, if you leave out, you ain't coming back in. So they got you. But I ain't never been to a Hank Jr. concert where they wasn't a bunch of dudes that had like a fifth whiskey in their boot. And I never seen nothing like that. Them dudes, they pack it with them, you know.
You're actually opening up for him in a couple of months.
I don't know about all that now.
I'll cut that out. But just wondering. I know it was
that's all it is.
Expensive. There was ways you didn't have to pay this and that and the other, but
they probably, you know, and I'm sure everybody's got their racket, right? Because I mean, everybody gets a cut of that. You know, whoever it is that's selling that, they had to pay money to, you know, be up in there. So, but that's what it is, man. They charge all them outrageous prices because you can't. They the only game in town, man. You know, you stuck in there for a couple of hours. I mean, unless you just want to leave to go get a beer.
We'll get off the Nashville thing. Two things I want to talk about before we end the conversation about Nashville is the disappointments. The show was great.
Mm-hmm.
There was 2 acts. Well, one. I just say one because, you know, the other one was I didn't really know the guy. You know, and it was just I just didn't feel his music. But it was announced that Blackberry Smoke was going to be on the card, bro, and I got excited.
Hell yeah.
I was disappointed.
Really?
Very disappointed. And I'm a Blackberry Smoke fan, and I'm not.
I am too.
I'm not picking on them or anything, but I figured they would come out rocking, bro. And they played some off-the-wall song nobody's heard of. You know, and it's like the crowd popped when they walked out. They cheered.
Right.
When they left the stage, it wasn't really a whole lot of.
Yeah.
They
just
bombed
like,
that night, bro.
What was all that?
Nights. Yeah. Now, Jamie Johnson, who I got mixed feelings for. You know, I think he's a better songwriter than he is a singer. But
well, that could be said about a lot of people.
Right.
Chris Christopherson being one
Very
of them.
much so.
And not to steal your thunder, but somebody sent me a damn link to Rolling Stone's 100 greatest songwriters of all time. Chris Christopherson, number 87.
How?
That list is complete and utter bullshit. Rolling Stone, y'all can kiss my rebel ass. That ain't right.
I'm going to have to, maybe we need to come up with Mudtooth's list of greatest songwriters.
Now, it wouldn't be a long one.
Well, maybe it don't have to be. Just put top 10. But
Yeah.
I mean, Chris Christopherson is number. That's like saying, like putting Elvis at like the number 50 spot as greatest entertainer of all time, which can be argued, but he's got to be at least in the top 5.
Yeah.
Chris Christopherson should be at least number 1 or number 2, bro.
Well, I mean, you know, you got to figure, and they're not dealing with just country music. I mean, they're dealing with, you know, all genres of music. And, I think I want to say Dylan was number one. And that's fine. If you want to give Dylan the number one, I don't have a problem with that. Because he did write a lot of stuff. He did, change a lot of people's views on things. He came up in a special time. And that's all well and good. But to put a man like Chris Christopherson at number 87, that invalidates their total list. So screw you, Rolling Stone.
Bro, look at the songs that Chris Christopherson has one of the most, probably one of the most iconic songs ever written with Bobby McGee.
Right.
Which, I don't care for the song, but
screw you, Rolling Stone.
Everybody knows. Right.
That's all I got to say. Screw you, Rolling Stone.
Back to Jamie Johnson.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody else had a band come out, and Warren Storm, who was the host, and Sean Hannity.
Yeah.
They hosting the thing, which I'm not too familiar with who Sean Hannity was.
He's on the Fox News channel. He's a anchor person. I don't know if they call him that anymore. He got a show on there. He's got a radio show too.
Yeah, well, Warren Storm, he hosts a lot of stuff on CMT, the Great American Country.
Mm-hmm.
And, he's got the Highway on Sirius XM.
Mm-hmm.
But when he announced, it was like this big thing, Jamie Johnson, and the crowd goes, they go crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody else up until that point pretty much ran out on stage.
Mm-hmm.
Here comes Jamie Johnson, taking his time.
Well, yeah, sucking it up.
And he's looking around. And I could have swore, I don't want to disrespect nobody, but I could have swore I seen him take his brush out and comb the back of his hair.
No.
He got in front of the mic. He didn't say, "My name is Jamie Johnson." He didn't say, "Thank you."
Uh-huh.
And I'm waiting on the band to come out with him. No band. And we're killing time here. It's like, we're hearing crickets.
Yeah.
Like, come on, Jamie, do something. The man saying, "This land is your land. This man, this land is my land." And he did it like a ballad and played his acoustic guitar. And it was the best performance of the night. He brought the house down.
Really?
Dude, when he got done, everybody stood up. Everybody, it was like, I don't want to sound, weird, or it was almost like magic.
Mm-hmm.
Like this dude, and he didn't say thank you. He didn't say that. He walked off the stage. He walked out there, sang, and walked off. Brought the house down.
Let me, just for you and our listening public.
Go ahead.
If you'd like to hear a special version of This Land Is Your Land, I would direct you to Mojo Nixon did a special version of This Land Is Your Land, This Land Is My Land. It talks about how the amusement park in his mind. He talks about, the directions on how to get there, turn right at the light, go past the trailer parks, stand naked, singing in the blazing sunlight of liberty.
Look at the pretty light. That man was taking that LSD.
Let me tell you something. That Mojo, he's something. That's another one on Sirius XM. My daddy says he cusses too much, but I like him. I discovered him when I was in college, and I kind of like the old boy. He is raw. He's rough. He's a rough old cob, wears some crazy ass suits, but he did do a special version of This Land Is Your Land. So if y'all want to check that out, I'm sure you can YouTube that or something.
You can go to the show notes at radiorandomnetwork.com. I'll share a link in there, and just go check that out. While you're there, go ahead and visit our affiliate, Amazon. Every time you shop with Amazon, they throw a little dough back to us for help with production costs.
That's right.
All that good stuff. And
Amazon. They get them drones yet?
I think
I want a drone to deliver a package to me.
They may. I don't know. I know. I want to thank the people that had been shopping with Amazon since the banners went up on the website, and that's been nice.
Mm-hmm.
Got to eat something other than bologna last week.
Oh man.
Mm-hmm. But no, in all seriousness, real quick. I know we ain't got much time left, but I have got now. I'm sure we're gonna do more shows. Hopefully, we can do this every week again. Because I mean,
I hope so. I miss it.
I'm gonna be honest with you, bro. You know, now I had to work to get where we are. You know,
well, sure.
What we're doing, you know, but people tell you, you know, we like the show. We need more. But man, if you had a little controversy, I'm not very controversial. I am, but I'm not. You know what I mean? It's like when you're interviewing people, you don't disagree with them.
Right.
Yeah. Well, I don't have nothing to disagree with them.
Like
about.
You wouldn't.
What would I? You're lying, Charlie.
That's right. Like Mickey Gilley, you know, he's talking about. So it was this time that me and my cousin Jerry Lee and Jimmy, we all went there, and you'd have to say, "You lied, son of a."
Yeah, I read the book. Jerry Lee's got a hold, and I'm going with Jerry Lee's story.
I tell you what, I would. I'd gotta say, man, I would love to meet that old dude, and I wouldn't.
Which one?
Jerry Lee Lewis. And I really wouldn't give. I wouldn't give a shit if he'd pull a pistol on me or what.
He's famous for that.
I know, and I wouldn't care because that dude. Jerry Lee Lewis, man, was the ultimate of the bad boys, man. I mean, he had it.
I sent, when I first started requesting interviews and stuff, when I first figured out how to do PR and everything, his contacts come up. And I'm not going to lie, I love Elvis Presley.
Oh, me too.
You know, Hank Williams Jr.
Sure.
But, bro, that Jerry Lee Lewis is my idol.
Oh, man, he was something.
And I sent in a request, but it was denied.
Oh, yeah.
You know, he's got up in age for whatever reason.
Because he's gotten up in age because he's been living so long.
Well, I understand that.
That's how it works.
For whatever reason, he don't do.
Yeah, and I get that.
But I recently read an article, and I'm going to have to go back and find it. Jerry is looking at death.
Well, I mean, he's old.
And he knows it. But the thing is, it's like,
I read that. I know what you're talking about. I did. I enjoyed it. It was a nice little article. And it made me kind of want to meet him even more.
He's just, watching interviews and stuff. He was supposed to be a preacher. He's supposed to be Jimmy.
Yeah. Didn't work out.
Well, no, because they didn't like his version of, what, I forget what the name is.
I tell you this, Jimmy made more than him and Mickey put together, and ain't paid a nickel of tax on it.
Yeah, Mickey told me the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
Mickey also told me he was doing a show in Las Vegas. Not me, yeah, Mickey told me.
Mm-hmm.
And he said Jimmy Swaggart called him. And he said, I'm cousin, I want to come and see you. He said, Mickey, I ain't seen you in a while. Mickey Gilley told me, he said, usually whenever he says that, I usually got to go lock up all the good belongings in the safe. All this and that and the other. He said, because he tried to get him to open up a school and, Abu Dhabi or something. It was going to be the Mickey Gilley school of whatever.
Of kids who want to learn how to read good.
Right. Mickey's like, I ain't falling for that. So he called him. Mickey said he was in Las Vegas. He said, look, I'm coming up there. See your show. I ain't seen you in a while, cousin. And Mickey said, okay. Well, I'd be happy to see you. He said, real quick, he said, can you save prostitutes? He said, well, they got a heart, too, Jimmy. They got a soul. He said, yeah, you can save prostitutes. And Jimmy told me, put me 2 or 3 of them in the closet. Man told me that, I swear.
That's hilarious.
And he told me that's one of the jokes he uses in his show.
I'm using that. I'm telling somebody that tomorrow.
Mm-hmm. And that's another thing I want to hear. And then just to let everybody, I was hacked a couple weeks ago. I wanted to address that on the website. The website went down. It killed all the feeds. And luckily, my web provider caught it. And the new website with RadioRandomNetwork.com. It should be up and running properly Friday. I mean, we're still doing good with the people listening and everything, but it's been a hell of a job trying to get all that stuff back up.
Mm-hmm.
But I done forgot where I was going.
Well, I I don't either, but I know.
Well, I was telling
there was something you wanted to talk about before we.
Oh,
finished.
okay, got hacked. But anyway, before that, before I got hacked, I was able to take surveys, which is sometimes hard as hell to get people to take. The listener survey, which is anonymous. And
people don't want to fool with it, though.
Right. I don't get your email address to spam you or anything.
Right. It cuts into their day, and they think that you might be trying to steal their number, or they think you might send them emails saying you're a Nigerian prince and you got some money that you want to give them, but in order for that to happen, I'm going to need your bank account number.
That's a lie, too, bro. Them people never did send money to me.
I don't think there's actually any princes in Nigeria.
No, but anyway, I put the survey out there, and people actually took it. I had, I think, over 60 responses.
That ain't bad.
A couple of them were saying about how, I focus more on the older country people, and I've had some up and comers on the show, but I'm gonna go ahead and address that I'm gonna continue to have the older country people on here, because that's what I like, and apparently there's a lot of people out there that like it too.
Yeah, if they listening.
So I mean, no disrespect, keep listening.
Yeah, hey, we're glad to have you, too.
Yes, indeed.
I'm talking to you. Yeah, you.
If you're looking for Luke Bryant to be on here,
that probably ain't going to happen.
No.
Not unless we fight.
I'd rather go eat dinner.
Now, if he wants to set up a fight, I'll fight him.
That'd be a good event.
I'd fight him right, out in the yard, and I wouldn't even sucker punch him or nothing. I wouldn't even, try to cut him or nothing. I'd, be straight up, fight. And if y'all want to do that, that's fine.
Yeah.
Just get a hold to Russell. He can get a hold to me.
Sure, you can email me from the website. But real quick, we got about 10 minutes left. And have you been keeping up with? And I don't like getting political, but I got to know your point of view on this. Have you been keeping up with the presidential election?
Oh, you mean all these silly debates and whatnot?
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, I got my finger on the pulse, man. I got my finger on the pulse. This is some crazy, crazy, crazy stuff. People's doing stuff now that all right, Hillary Clinton. All right. Got nothing against her old man. He's kind of a hound, whatever, But, they they ran Nixon out of town for what, like 18 minutes of tape? And she missing like 30,000 emails. She gave him a server that today we find out was wiped clean before she gave it to the FBI. And ain't nobody saying nothing. Like, it's just all right. It's okay. She ought to go to jail. At the very least, get indicted.
What do you think those emails was about?
I don't think, she said, well, everything that was personal was deleted. Well, I don't believe that she gets that many personal emails.
She don't. Have you seen that sourpuss face?
I have. I don't think
she ain't got friends.
There was a reason that Miss Monica Lewinsky was around. All right, and it wasn't because of her filing ability or her typing skills. All right, now, and there was a reason that all that happened. And if she's searching for the reason, she need only look into a mirror. Now, on the other side, you got Donald Trump. And look, man, I don't know how he would be as a president. But I'm going to tell you why he's leading in the polls. It's because He's doing and saying what the hell he wants to.
He's politically incorrect.
He don't belong to nobody. He's got his own money.
Yeah, and he wasn't afraid to tell him that.
And the rest of that bunch don't know what in the hell to do.
Okay, brother, Donald Trump thing, because I'm going to be honest with you. You know, I vote. I hardly watch any of that.
And by the way, folks, if you're listening to me and you're over 18 and you're an American citizen,
go vote.
Please vote. I don't care who you vote for. Okay, I really don't. But I encourage you to vote. Please vote, like, you know, just once. Let's don't cheat now. And but hey, you know, go vote. You know, I'm gonna go vote. You might need to go vote to cancel my vote out.
That's it.
You know.
Well, yeah, like I said, I vote, but and I don't watch any of the the debates and all that, because a lot of it to me is just a bunch of people talking about what they're going to do. It's kind of like in high school when you're trying to pick class president. Well, somebody said, we're going to have a Coke machine out there, on the playground.
That's
they lying their ass off.
Right. They ain't putting no Coke machine.
Right. But I caught Donald Trump on there, which Donald, he's got a tie-in with WWE. He's a big wrestling fan. So naturally, I want to watch Donald Trump because I want to see what he has to say. And, bruh, he cuts, in wrestling terms, a bad guy heel. He cut a heel promo.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. He didn't say nothing nice about nobody.
Mm-mm.
But what really, really got me, and I couldn't change the channel because it was, he was so charismatic. But what really got me was that big old whatever, that white.
That spit. Yeah. He gets that spit over in the corner of his mouth.
Like, man.
Yeah.
It only take a second for you to say, excuse me.
Just get that.
Right.
Take your thumb and just reach there and get it. I think that might have been why old Megan Kelly went at him so hard. I think she might have seen that spit. And because it was blood in the water.
Honestly, I think it was a publicity stunt. Donald's good for publicity stunts.
Oh, yeah.
And I think that's what had happened was at first. I don't think he thought he was going to get as far as he's gotten so far.
Now he's just rolling with it.
Right.
Now he's saying, shit, I might get elected.
Yeah. He, and he wasn't, like you said, I mean, the Spanish or Hispanic community has shunned this man.
Well, yeah.
And he don't care.
He don't really care.
No.
He's planning on deporting some folks anyway.
Them Spanish rappers are making songs about Donald Trump now that you wouldn't believe, bro.
I bet.
I can't understand it.
I don't know what they're talking about until they say Trump.
Yes, indeed.
Now that, I do want to say, I don't know if she listens or not, that Megan Kelly, I was mentioning earlier, if you listening, you pretty. I mean, I really, like, you kind of scare me a little bit, like just a little, because I've seen you, like, look, like, because if you ever watch her, like, she'll look right at the television. It's like she's looking through your soul, and she'll kind of get on some people pretty hard.
Yeah.
And that would frighten me just a little. Just a little, mind you. But she's pretty.
Do you think Donald's going to go all the way?
I don't know. I think it's way too early to tell.
Really?
They got all kind of stuff going to happen between now and then. And look, they got to play all their political games, right? Somebody got to plant some dope on somebody. Let's see how this Let's see how all this shakes out, man. This is, you got a long time. Look, it's a marathon. It ain't a sprint.
Yes, indeed. Well, this has been fun.
Absolutely.
It has. And getting back in the groove of things. And we're on iHeart. That's what we're on.
iHeartradio.
We're all over the place. We're Clamor. And Clamor is, to break it down, is an app.
Mm-hmm.
And we're not just a featured show, or one of our shows are not just featured. We're a featured channel.
Mercy.
And this is something that just come out. It ain't been out long, but they sent me a bunch of pretty stuff the other day with telling us that we're now a featured channel.
Mm-hmm.
And we have over 11,000 listeners a week that are listening to
That's
me
a lot.
sit here and stutter.
Mm-hmm.
It's the Louisiana accent. Is what it is.
People tell me they like my accent.
I heard.
I've had people like get me to just talk for them, which is kind. Yeah, I mean, really, and then you don't know what to say. Well, what do you want me to say? Well, just say something, and I don't know what to do.
Start cutting over. Start telling them your mama jokes.
Right. So I tell them a joke. I'll tell you one.
Mm-hmm.
So this old boy was sitting at the barbershop, and barber asked him how's it going. He said, well, my mule's sick. Barber said, well, last time my mule got sick, I gave him turpentine. The boy said, all right, So he got home, gave his mule some turpentine. That somebody dropped dead. About a week later, 2 weeks later, he goes back in and get him another haircut. He said, remember last time I was in here, I told you my mule was sick? He said, yeah. He said, you said you give him turpentine, and I give my mule turpentine, and somebody died. And Barbara said, damn, man, mine did too.